What's going on, Pisces? Welcome to your burning question reading. The question that we're tackling this week is, how can I rewrite this story? Super exciting, and I'm very pumped. So let's dive in, shall we? Let's do this. So I would like to invite the angels, my guardian angels, my spirit guides, protectors, teachers, and their healing energy to this space, and I ask that it is a safe space that allows for the fullest expression of our light, humanity, ascension, and healing. So I'm going to start with the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed here. I'm just going to pull this down a chunk. There we go. Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. If you are interested in these decks for your own practice or channel, if you have one, the links are in the description below, so do check those out if you are so inclined. Spirit, what messages do you have for Aquarius? So I'm here, or for Aquarius, she's Pisces. For Pisces, I'm hearing a leg up by the book. I'm getting a lot of family, like familial energy off of this, like ancestor energy. Both of them. Observer and building blocks. A lot of air energy in here. So we have a leg up by the book. Observer and building blocks. These two came out together. So I'm getting from here that there's something that is like you're pulling back to see something much, much clearer. There's like a clarity that you're gaining here, and you're breaking from the pack a little bit. Breaking from the pack, maybe some status quo energy. I think that was in Sagittarius, in Sag's reading. I'm getting here, this is almost your guides. Like your guides are giving you this leg up, and it's like you need to listen, but it might go against the grain a little bit here. It might go against what you've, like common knowledge or perception or things like that. Like not your perception, but like what people think should be the case. Like what people think a thing should look like or think a thing should be. So you may have to, 222 is just on the time. So it could be something new that you're starting out here. But I'm getting some way that this is kind of, it's almost like I'm hearing counterintuitive, Pisces. Counterintuitive. So a leg up. I think that you have to be careful of how you're thinking about this scenario and situation, Pisces, because I'm getting the impression that there's a way that you can really, it's like you can look at it from a glass half empty perspective, and it's like tempering your expectations is what I'm hearing. Yeah, there's death and the wheel is here. Overdue. This could be overdue. It could be that your perspective shift is overdue, Pisces. Perspective shift is overdue. The wheel is Jupiter. Death is, I say it often, death, the energy of the death card to me is just so wonderful. Because it's like you're going past the 10 of Swords, and this is you putting the learning into something that's tangible for yourself. This is like the combination of like a pentacle, a sword, a cup, and a wand in transformation form, right? This is like a slow march forward to me, right? A slow march. And I don't get the impression that there's like transformation and that's it. Like for me, this is like, I'm almost getting that this vibe of like a portal opening up, right? That's allowing you to really put down roots that mean something to you. And I think that if you're not careful, it's not that you'll miss your guides, but if you're not talking to them, you won't hear them, right? You won't hear them. And talking to them happens through meditation. You know, I sometimes do Akashic sessions where I will get in touch with inner wisdom, but also wisdom of the records. And in addition to that, just channeling in general. Like it's, you know, if you're not in conversation with your guides, you can't hear them, right? And if you intend to connect with the energy of your guides and loving entities and spirits around you, that's what you'll find. So it's also, I'm hearing like a bit of what you look for is what you find. What you look for is what you find. So keeping a really fresh perspective on this, Pisces, you could be doing some work related to channeling or It could be channeling work that you're doing, but it could also be channeling, but also esoteric work, spiritual work. You could be working on healing. Hanged Man, that's, yeah, like, you know, I'm getting this like healer vibe, but there's like a student vibe that is going with it. And this, so I'm getting real clarity here, really very, very sharp resonance here on the King of Swords, on the needing to break with the pack a little bit here, needing to break with the pack. Sometimes I'm hearing infantilizing. Sometimes when we connect with people in a group setting, we can, and not like, I'm not talking about, you know, taking on a role necessarily, but sometimes we get kind of shoved into this infantilized position where we are seen as less than because of age and all of that stuff. And age and agency is compromised, right? Because they get wound up together. And I'm just getting that there's some way that you've been connected to a group, Pisces, that's been infantilizing you. And when you get clear on that, there's a way that you are able to move forward and also receive differently. Pisces, what's going on here? And infantilizing is really frustrating. It happens to millennials all the time, like, you know, the avocado toast generation, and like it's like it doesn't resonate, but people still act like all the millennials on the planet are like 15 and these, like, you know, petulant teenagers, and like, no, we're just in our 30s and 40s and aging. Like, we're aging along with everybody, right? So, and it's not to, you know, pit generations against one another, because that's not it. But there are ways that culturally we can be infantilized into, and it tries to convince us of beliefs that we're trying to break from. So when it comes to stories, I almost get that this is like the building blocks of a story. Like, I see this as almost the spines of a book, right? Building blocks of a story. So you're putting the pieces together by watching other people, I'm getting, by watching other people and mirroring what they do, but mirroring in a way that's not toxic or anything like that. It's like a healthy energy where you're stepping into this place of, oh, I'm learning by observing. I watch what other people do, right? You can learn so much about a channel and everything on YouTube just by watching. And I'm not going to put my own secret sauce of observing out there into the world, but you can just watch what they do. And a lot of the times the joy that people have when they produce content is so freaking palpable. Like, you can see that they love doing it. It's not just the skill that comes from doing it for a long time. It's like a genuine love for what they do, right? Ace of Cups and Queen of Cups. I show the deck in portions like that because I feel like when I'm channeling and these messages come through and it resonates, the deck will often be like, yeah, exactly, right? So that's why I do things on the split and show. But this, I'm getting this sort of like, it's like a youthful energy that you have, but there's a way that you're becoming clearer about the ways that people have sort of seen that as like to your detriment. And when people start to see you and it's like being pigeonholed into one specific archetype or things like that. And sometimes people want you to stay in these youthful roles, or they want you to be like helpless. They want you to be disempowered. And that is part of age. Like, it's a cultural thing, that it's like a cultural accoutrement of like, you know, younger people need helping and they need guidance and all of this stuff. And it's not to say that there's anything wrong with that, because like, I mean, I love guidance. I love, you know, cross-generational wisdom. Like, it's, the age is such a weird construct, and it is a super duper construct at that. But what I'm seeing here is that there's a way that you're clarifying for other people by being who you are. You're clarifying your strength. You're clarifying your power. Whoa, I did not see that. That's the strength card on the split and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, you're clarifying, and it's kind of leaving people feeling out in the cold because they don't really know how to relate to you necessarily or act towards you or around you. And that's where people might come a little bit hesitant. Knight of Pentacles, and then on the bottom was the Two of Wands. People might come a little bit hesitant towards you, but I think that this is something you have to take in stride as you begin to retell this story that you're bringing to this reading for yourself, Pisces. Let them be a little hesitant. It's fine. It's not the be all and end all of your interaction with them. If they're hesitant, it's fine. Just let that be. It's independent of you, and it has nothing to do with you. Take nothing personally. It's the second agreement, Don Miguel Ruiz. Yeah, super duper clarity. The King and Queen of Swords are here to say that you're integrating these two things, and it's like you're very clear, and you're like, onward. Now we're moving onward. So if this was like, I'm getting that this was just sort of like a little like aside that if it went kind of unchecked or undealt with would have become very untenable in the long run for you as a perspective. So just let that shit go, Pisces. Yeah. You don't have to fight for people to hear you, or the Five of Swords to me is sort of like a take what you need card, but it's also showing up here as a, it's also showing up here in terms of a feeling of like the winning at all costs, but like to your detriment, because people are, what I'm getting from this, Pisces, is that there are folks who want you in this Five of Swords energy of having to justify everything and explain everything. And like, you know, why do you want it? Like, it's like, why do you need that? People are always, it's like, not always, but like, I'm getting this vibe of like a persistent energy of this persistence where people are treating you like you don't deserve, like you don't know. Justice and High Priestess. Yeah. Like you just don't know, when in fact you do. And justice here, to me, in this context, reflects conflict that's externalized that could be going on internally. So I think this is also a call to trust yourself, Pisces, to trust yourself. Don't let the voices of other people drown out what you know is true for you or about yourself. So when we go into observer and building blocks, what have we got here, Spirit? Can you please clarify this for my Pisceans, for this story we're retelling? The Empress. Yes. Slow and steady, baby. Slow and steady. That's how this is happening. And I think about the pentacle energy is very loud on the Empress here. And that's, I'm getting this like slow and steady. And I think the transformation is you, in this story, is you articulating to people, no, I'm good. I hold the pen. Like, I hold the pen. And you'll indeed find that I've been writing for years. Right? Alphabet in kindergarten, JK, SK, whatever, you know, or grade 1, whatever that was. Like you understand how it works. And the Empress is you stepping into this energy of observing, and not just observing. This observer card is here. I'm hearing Howl at the Moon. Oh my gosh. Okay. Because I just, that's probably my cat. She's trying to get outside, out of here. Let me just let her out so that I stop getting conflicting messages here. Go ahead, Chicken Little. Oh, my baby cat. I call her Chicken Little because when I came home when she was younger, anytime I would come home, she'd be like, row, 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 and it would be like, the sky is falling. It reminded me of being like, do you know what kind of day I had? Blah, 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 and just going off. So now she has the name Chicken Little as well as Sweet Potato. But this Empress, Spirit, can you clarify the Empress for me here in this spread? And this story that we're retelling, how is the Empress figuring into this? Queen of Cups. I'm smiling because I feel like this is where I'm starting to get a little bit of the love vibe, Pisces. Tiny, tiny bits here. Queen of Cups. I think that this is you being able to read people and situations much better because the internal conflict that I said that we were externalizing is kind of getting back into an alignment. It's getting back into alignment. And I think that that's like, and I'm hearing right on time. So it's like there's like a timing piece. Two things, Page of Swords and Ace of Pentacles came out, and the Two of Cups was on the bottom with the Judgment card. Pisces. I almost feel like this Queen of Cups is like you, like this is you in your element, kind of peeking out. It's almost like this is, the Empress is you, and this is the part of you that you're letting lead, that is able to lead finally. Like this deeply emotional, compassionate, connected, nurturing part of you that's able to lead from the core of you because you're stepping into this Empress power now that you're clear. And then again, the pages have been coming out through these readings, the Page of Swords in particular, which I, liken to the writer, and pages are messengers. So many of them can be writers, I'm sure. I've read before that the Page of Wands is like a writer as well. So, but that page energy is here in this context, I think, to say that you have to remember that you truly are authoring this, Pisces. There's no magician here, but I'm getting big time magician vibes off of this, and that it's important for you to remember that you are writing this, and the page is looking at all of the conflict in this row. And I think that it's more important for you to be connected to this energy, the High Priestess and the Justice card, because that is what's going to help you navigate any conflict coming in or upcoming or that you're going through. It's almost like this is superfluous, and it was just sort of distracting you from what you're actually meant to do here, which is give and receive love. But then, there's the Pluto transformation in the Judgment card here, right? So this sort of, I'm almost getting that there's like a release of expectation, and there's like a pressure that you're taking off. The Page of Swords too is also kind of like, social media, somebody kind of hanging around but not saying much. And then that could also be the Observer and the Building Blocks card, where like someone's outside looking in at you doing your thing, and this could be them coming in as well. Like this could be them making offers. This Two of Cups and Ace of Pentacles. So let's not discount some of the traditional meaning of these cards, right? This is a reading about you, but this does look like there could be the potential for a relationship or romance, but one that's quite grounded, because you're grounded now. You're getting more grounded through the retelling of this story, Pisces. The Sun. Why wouldn't the sun come out? Of course it would, right? And I think that this is like kind of a wink from the universe right now in this reading, saying, stay the course. Do you know how much good is coming, Pisces? Do you know? Do you have any idea how much good is coming your way? Because there's a lot. There's a lot here. Okay, so I'm going to pull... Okay. I haven't done this for the other readings, but I'm getting guidance to pull from the chakra deck here. My hand just grazed it while I was picking up another deck, and I got a little bit of a shock and goosebump, which is, for me, that's a kind of a directive. Okay, so that fell out while I was shuffling. So sacral chakra. Interesting. Okay, so we have the sacral chakra card, which is be still and connect with all your senses. Tap into the deep ocean of resource within you and play with your sensuality and creativity. I love that card. Oh my gosh. Explore and indulge in life's pleasures. Go ahead, follow your creative impulses. You are a magnificent creation. That's a beautiful message, Pisces. And, Piscean energy is very creative and connected, artistic, poetic, that kind of thing. And I think that what I'm really thrilled for here is just that there's an expression taking place, but there's also a deep knowing. So let me get into this. So this is where it's like these two are the Empress energy coming together, but the High Priestess and the Justice are here, unity and peace of mind. And that peace of mind is really coming through as the Justice card, right? Peace of mind is really the settling of internal conflict that can externalize itself to help us work through it. 1818. So communication. I communicate with others in healthy and meaningful ways. My communications are constructive, honest, and purposeful. I communicate with respect, positive regard, and an intention for the growth of all. I collaborate and cooperate. Yes, and what comes to mind is co-creation with the universe, right? Co-creation, in the same vein of Abraham Hicks. So this is sacral chakra, throat chakra. This is the third eye. I see the unity and harmony within the polarities that I am experiencing and choose to align with the center point of balance, harmony, and love for one and all. I open to seeing with fresh eyes a more balanced perspective. The truth of this matter lies in between the polarities within which I am resonating. I unite. And it's that in between the polarities, right? That Justice card, bringing together for your peace of mind so that you can see clearly, so that you can see things clearly, and so that other people can see you clearly. Because if we're foggy and we're not sure, we're uncertain, we're unsteady, it can get pretty unsteady for others too, right? It's 1919 on the time. It makes it hard for them to see us too. So peace of mind. I heal the poisons of my mind that limit and deny me by aligning with pure and honest thought and belief. I joyfully recognize when I am thinking limiting thoughts from my conditioning and realign with thoughts and beliefs that serve my growth and well-being. I choose to question my perspective and think loving, supportive thoughts. And this is being unafraid to challenge yourself when something doesn't feel right. when something doesn't feel good, right? This is you stepping into this part of you, leading with this emotional part of you. Your emotions are a guidance system for you for a reason, right? So it is getting connected with that part again, that is that joyful recognition of thinking limited thoughts. So I'm going to pull from the Miracles Now deck for you, my dear Pisceans. Spirit, what messages do you have for Pisces, these timeless messages? When I allow others to support me, sorry, voice is squeaking. It's not sick, it's the tea. I'm so sorry about that, Pisces. When I allow others to support me, I support them too. Yes, absolutely. This is beautiful energy. This is very Empress energy, very, very supportive. And it's almost like remembering that you're supported by the universe, which is this energy here, the Fool, the High Priestess as well. Like it's this deeply supported energy. And I think it's important to know too that letting other people help you, Pisces, it can unlock a sort of intimacy with others. And I'm not talking necessarily about romantic or sexual or, this is emotional intimacy that you can unlock with others by letting them help you, because you bring their purpose to life too by letting other people help you. And I'm not saying be helpless and let everyone help you do everything, because it's not the shadow side of this that I'm talking about. I'm talking about being a grown-ass human person, a grown person, and recognizing what's most important to you and what nourishes you, and then understanding that those same things exist for other people about helping others too, right? And it's also, I think, a call to remember that you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to go it alone, right? There's this Uranian energy in the Fool that is very community oriented. So I think that this is a call to remember that you exist by yourself on your own. And it's important to exist in that space, but you're not an island, and that you do exist in a context. I was going to say contextual community, but instead I just said context in a weird way. But you exist within a context, and it's important to honor the context because it allows other people to feel honored by you as well, and for you to honor other people, right? So it's just this beautiful reciprocal relationship, Two of Cups, this beautiful reciprocity that you can get into in that space. So I speak with confidence because the world needs my light. Yes. And that's where I think that you're observing and starting to rebuild I'm hearing rebuilding from experience, not scratch, this building blocks card, right? And I think that that's also you in this Fool energy stepping forward, moving forward. And I think it's also being unafraid of transformation, because we did have the Death card here and the Wheel. But it's also understanding that, time is funny, because time doesn't really exist. Like, it doesn't quite exist in the ways that we think, right? Time is very much an illusion, and we think of fate in terms of time. But what we need to start to do, it's up to you. Like, this is something that I've been contemplating by geeking out, with quantum physics books and things like that. But thinking about time not in the context of fate and fated events necessarily, but thinking about the Wheel in terms of whether or not we are willing to accept what we can change and can't change, and what comes to us, and how much a peaceful container we are being for the changes to happen in our lives that are going to happen, and being at peace with the seasons that we're in, right? This is more a meditative card for me in this energy, but just in general lately I've been thinking about it in that way, right? The seasons of your energy and of your life, and that's where the Death card is very much a fertile energy. It's the Empress is more like this sort of major arcana fertility, but I think of like Death as like the underdog, and maybe not the underdog of the major arcana, because like it's the Death card. There's no underdogging. Like, it's the Death card. What I'm thinking about here is just the way that like there's fertility that we think of in terms of people and, pregnancy and babies. But what I always think about when I think about fertility is the way that the woods smell like new, and that fertility of that fresh soil after rainfall, that the fertility of the way the earth is regenerating itself, refreshing itself, that thick soil, right? That to me is the Death card, from which something can grow, that very dark earth that you see when you drive through farmers' fields, not through them. I hope you're not driving through farmers' fields. If you are, good on you. You know how to drive a tractor as well. But like, what I'm talking about here is when you drive past them and you see this rich soil that just has so much that you know will grow from it. That's what I'm getting on the death card. Yeah. I think that this is a really good reading for you, Pisces. I think it's slow going, but there's something about as well just being very clear about what it is that you want and what you're headed towards in this energy here. So Pisces, if this resonated for you, please like and subscribe. It helps me to grow the channel. And as always, I'm so grateful for being able to do this for you and to connect with Spirit, to bring you wisdom. So thank you so much for your time here and for helping this little community to grow as it has been in the past couple of, I guess the past week and a half, 2 weeks. So thank you so much. I look forward to more of that and engaging with you more on this channel. If there's other places you can connect with me through, different videos and content I offer on this channel. So do keep an eye out for that. Check the videos tab and have a look-see, as it were. But if this is where we part, Pisces, thank you so much for your eyes, your time, and your energy. I wish you nothing but the utmost light and healing wherever this finds you on the time-space continuum, morning, noon, or night. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, Pisces. Bye.